What's up, everybody? Ken and Hotep back at it again with the work GRIFT. Today I'm headed to Manassas, Virginia to pick up a boat, bring it back to Maryland, and destroy that bitch. Hope you guys having a wonderful day so far. Hope y'all got your coffee or whatever the hell it is y'all do in the morning, y'all morning rituals. I don't know, shit, shower and shave. I don't know what the fuck y'all do. Anyway, I'm just happy y'all here. So, the mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, is pleading her case, saying that she she need the federal government. She need Governor Abbott, I guess, to stop sending these migrants to D.C. Right? She's saying they're being tricked into getting on these buses and heading to D.C. Now, if you go back in my my catalog on YouTube, I did matter of fact, it's in the thumbnail of this video, where I did a live stream that says Texas sends a message. You know what I mean? And in that live stream, the migrants know exactly what they're doing. They're signing a waiver. They're being told up front, like, hey, we're going to send you to D.C. All that virtue signaling coming from Muriel Bowser about immigrants and all this other shit. Now, all of a sudden, when they start being Governor Abbott in Texas, they thought he was fucking around when he said he was going to start shipping them right to the steps of Congress. They thought he was fucking around. He said, all right, cool. And it looked like they fucked around and found out. You know what I mean? So now, all of a sudden, they can't deal with it. All of a sudden, they're being coerced and tricked. And in my opinion, I'm like, okay, well, if you got an issue with these migrants on your doorstep, right? It sounds like you need to go talk to old Joe Nicholslick. Because Nicholslick is the reason why we got that issue going on down at the border. Nicholslick the reason why we got, 10,000 people walking this way. You know what I mean? Somebody said, I forgot who it was. Somebody said, hey, yo, these migrants, they supposedly walking like 3,000 miles, but they showing up 100 pounds overweight with cell phones. Something ain't right. We all know they got help. We all know they got help, right? We all know they got help. But regardless, you got these migrants, they making their trek here. They said they coming nonstop regardless, you know what I mean? And that's because Nicholslick promised, what'd he say, yo? What'd he say when he was campaigning? 11 million? He promised citizenship for 11 million undocumented citizens. He said that shit, right? On top of that, the minute he got in office, he stopped the construction on the wall. He stopped construction on the wall, which left like major areas open, right? That was on the verge of being closed off. Almost like they wanted the issue, almost like they wanted to have a problem, right? Now all of a sudden, we got all these people at the border. Now we got Texas declaring an emergency. I hear you, my beaver. What's up, beaver? My beaver's unit. I like that song. I will walk 500 miles and I will walk 500 more. Nothing much. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, so like right now, let's see if I can't show y'all the nation's capital. Because I'm kind of driving through right now. Right over there is the nation's capital. Right across that river. That's the nation's capital heading over there as I'm going into D.C. I'm on the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. I'm on Woodrow Sellout Wilson's Bridge. Anyway. But yeah. It's you want to solve this issue, right? You want to solve this issue. You gotta talk to Nicholslick. He the one that's allowing this shit to happen. Or Or make Kamala do her job, because last I remember, Kamala was supposed to be in charge of that shit, right? Wasn't she supposed to be in charge of that border? See, last I remembered, when Donnie T left, the border crossings were at an all-time low. The quote-unquote kids in cages was down to like 1,200, and the reason why I was at 1,200 because those kids was under, and they had to find their parents and shit. Now under Nickel Slick is at an all-time high. Kids in cages is at an all-time high, and they ain't trying to do shit about it. They ain't making no mention of it. I ain't seen not word one on CNN or MSNBC or any of these left-leaning outlets, right? You know, of course we see it on the Fox Newses and the Newsmaxes and shit like that. Some independent media outlets are talking about it as well. You know what I mean? But like, what you gonna do? Like, y'all cool with it when he got to deal with that shit down there in Texas, right? Y'all cool with it when those mayors in El Paso and all that other shit, they got to deal with those border crossings and all this other shit and the violence and shit that come behind it sometimes. You know what I mean? Y'all cool with that, but then when that shit come to your front doorstep, y'all like, whoa, wait a minute, homie. Nah, look. I was all for undocumented citizens coming in, you know, but look, I ain't got no room in my house. I ain't got no extra room. I ain't got no food for them, right? You know, they want some other state to foot that bill. And now that, you know, Abbott was like, nah, how about this? I'm about to start coach busting these niggas all the way to you. A hell of a ride from Texas to D.C. You know what I mean? Like Unc said, you know, he said that shit on the way up the East Coast. You know, why not drop a few of them off in D.C.? Drop some off in up there in Philly, drop in PA, drop some off there in Massachusetts. Like, hey, you know, she was trying to say that, or they think they're going to another destination, and that's simply not the case. No, they know exactly where they're going because they're being told exactly where they're going. They're being told exactly what they're doing. What Abbott's doing is exposing them. He's exposing that virtue signal. He's exposing that fakeness. You guys, you're for these undocumented, you know what I mean? And y'all not. You're not for them. You know what I mean? You're not for them. He said he walked 13 miles and his calf was about to explode a few years ago. Son said, being from DC, Bowser helped create this program. The homeless are being kicked out of the shelters. Hey, yeah. Let's see. I got me doing some dangerous shit. I'm reading and driving and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, that's on her. That shit on her. You know, she like, you know, hey, help do something. You know, now they're on your doorstep. Now help the cause. You know, get Congress, get Nickel Slick. You know, to start stifling people from coming in. Finish the wall. Secure the border. Stop telling people they welcome. Stop flying people to fucking destinations, because I believe that shit's still going on. Where they were putting immigrants on fucking midnight trains to Georgia and fucking overnight airplanes to places. You know what I mean? So the problem can be fixed. You gotta turn off the faucet. You know? I'm sure there's some kind of middle ground there. You know? How about making, you know, instead of like it taking 6 years to become a citizen of the United States, try to lower that shit. You know? He says a Canon Hotep OMG hasn't seen me. What? LOL, nice to meet you. Hey, my B Regina started that shit. She started that with the 500 Mile song. I forgot what that shit's called. So I heard, I don't know, Midnight Train in Georgia just came to mind. But I mean, they can easily fix this issue. Simple as that. Finish the border. Tell people stop coming here. Force Mexico to help stop the crossings. And then from there, then you fix the immigration laws. That's one thing they don't want to do. They don't want to fix the immigration laws because they always want to have something to argue about in election year. You know what I mean? That's what it seemed like to me. Oh, it is called 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. Jesus Christ, I can't even talk. Lick the like button. It ain't gonna lick itself. But yeah, man, like, let's see, where am I going? On to Richmond. I'm going now about the way to Richmond. There we go. Almost missed my exit. But yeah, so I don't know, man. This immigration thing, it's not getting a lot of exposure in the news. You saw when Donnie T was in office, that's all that was on the left-leaning media. Oh my God, all these people are stuck in these cages and they're being separated from their families. Meanwhile, Joe Nicholslick and Kamala Harris are separating people from their families. Am I saying that is wrong? In the grand scheme of things, yeah, that's just wrong. But on the surface, if you break the law, if I'm drunk driving, right? If I'm drunk driving and I got my kids in the car and I get locked up for drunk driving, guess what? I go to jail. My kids don't go to jail. They got to go to like DSS or some shit. They don't go to jail with me and sit in jail with me. So why should it be different for anybody else? However, Nicholslick and Kamala are facilitating and creating the environment for this shit to happen. You know what I mean? They're facilitating and creating the environment for this shit to happen. That's what's going on. Hegelian dialectic. They create the problem and then they try to create the solution to the problem that they created. Right? So let's just say Nicholslick finishes the wall. Now, him finishing the wall, that credit goes to him and their weird ass minds. Joe Biden finished the border wall. He put an end to illegal migration and all this other shit. What's up, Jay? That's how they gonna pull that shit off. You already seen the first half of his presidency. He was promising shit that Donnie T was already doing in the first place, and he was trying to take credit for shit that Donnie T already did in the first place. You know what I mean? Because the news, the left-leaning media did such a great job of not covering that shit and spinning it and making it seem like Donnie T was doing the worst job in America. So when old Nicholson get in office, the rubes that don't do their own due diligence or their own research, they legitimately thought, oh, look at what, like, for example, right? They're trying to give him credit for the Abraham Accords. They're trying to give Nicholslick credit for the Abraham Accords and the fact that I think Saudi Arabia or whoever is going to allow flights to like Tel Aviv or some shit like that. I'm like, wait, what? Nah, that was Donnie T. Right? But they trying to give Nicholslick credit for that shit. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous to me. But people don't know. Like I said, the rubes that only listen to MSNBC and CNN and all of them, right? This is the first time them probably hearing the Abraham Accords because they never covered it in the news. Now they think, Nicholslick is facilitating peace in the Middle East. Meanwhile, he over there in Saudi Arabia on his knees ready to give blow and goes and fucking ZJs. You know what I mean? And if you have to ask what a ZJ is, you can't afford it. You know, but they over there ready to give ZJs and all this other shit to pander. Pandering, asking them for help with oil and crude oil and the gas problem, asking them to ramp up production. Why we need them to ramp up production when we could ramp up our own production? Like I said, it's virtue signaling. Like I said last night, it's virtue signaling, right? Oh, we're gonna reduce our carbon footprint. We're gonna fight climate change. Meanwhile, it's like you're gonna ask other countries who don't give a fuck about it, right? You're going to ask other countries who don't give a fuck about climate change to do your dirty work for you. All right, well, we're going to stop drilling and fracking on American land because of climate change. But, fuck it. Hey, Saudi Arabia, can y'all ramp up your production, please? You know what I mean? Yo, what's up, Robert? Yo, what's up, Robert? Where you been, yo? You know what I mean? But, yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all virtue signaling. We want to be fossil fuel, we get rid of fossil fuels by 2030 and all this other bullshit. And it's like, but you ain't got no problems asking another country to fucking pollute the planet, quote unquote. You got no problem asking another country to pollute the planet on your behalf, right? They say Texas got enough oil, crude oil, and natural gas to fucking last every American for like the next 50 years. And that's just Texas. We got other fucking states that's rich in oil and natural gas and shit like that. You know, and people they refuse to see the correlation between when Nickel Slick ended the XL and Keystone pipelines and rescinded those permits. They refuse to see that correlation between that and when gas prices started to go up. Gas prices started to go up that December of 21. I remember that shit because I did a short little video when I was at the pump, paying $4.55 or $4.65 a gallon for premium. What up, Papa? Papa Hotep in the building. You know what I mean? But it's a fucking shame, yo. Fucking world going to hell, America going to hell in a handbasket. They mad at the fucking phrase "Make America Great Again," but the Great Reset or Build Back Better don't fucking bother them. Considering this is the fucking worst we've been since what? I think everything's at a fucking 40-year high. All these inflation and all this other shit at a fucking 40-year high. Niggas is at Great Depression levels. Shit's crazy. Shit is crazy. You know, and it's not just here. Like, I think you have like Heathrow Airport or whatever it is over there in England or London or whatever. They telling airlines to fucking cut back on flights. They telling airlines to cut back on flights and shit. I'm like, damn, for what? You know what I mean? There's so much shit going on and people not really paying attention. But when their fucking oil reserves run out, because they keep they slinging oil around like fucking ones on credit. You know what I mean? Like they at the fucking strip club, fucking putting barrels of oil down fucking oligarchs' fucking G-strings. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, yo, we can't afford to do that shit. We can't afford to do that shit. Those oil reserves are for us, not for nobody else. Now, if you want to start production back up and start drilling and fracking, opening pipelines back up, all right, cool. Once we start pumping and drilling and fracking and shit, let's go ahead and tax these motherfuckers. Oh, you need oil? Russia screwed you? All right, cool. Come buy from us. We can make some money off of our resources. We got fucking natural resources here too. We got amber waves of grain. Shit, we don't need the Ukraine for wheat. We can do that shit our fucking self. And then, you know, hey, let's export some wheat. Oh, you ain't get your wheat supply? Got you. You know what I mean? Hopefully God would just reset the entire world and try again. I seen that Cannon, they said runway was warped from the heat. Bullshit. It ain't that fucking hot over there. I believe what did he say? I believe the UK suspended flights in the UK. I believe the suspended flights in the UK, yeah. It's supposed to be 106 degrees out in Paris today. Tasha said, what is that? We are all clueless business owners right now. With these policies going straight downhill. That's true. That's true. What you say, son? How come they never factor in damage the wars and proxy wars does to the planet? Because military and industrial complex, that's how they get their cash. That's how they get them dollar bills, y'all. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Fucking Eisenhower warned motherfuckers before he left office. And he was smart about it. He's like, I ain't gonna do this shit while I'm in office. They're gonna try to kill me. Yo, let motherfuckers beware of the military industrial complex. He said that shit before he left office. That shit was creepy and ominous, and he was right. He was right. Beware of the military industrial complex. He said that shit. Nobody listened, and now look at us. Yeah, that sound about right, Natasha. But it's like a dry heat, though. It's like a dry heat. Like, it was hot as shit last year in Vegas, but it took me longer to sweat than it do here in Baltimore. Like, it'd be humid as shit here in Baltimore. Like, right now, it's 83 degrees. We ain't got no sun right now. It's just overcast. But as soon as I get out this truck, my ass gonna be sweating my ass off. You know what I mean? This shit crazy. However, that's a good segue. If you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon, and let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream, let people know we live. You know? The question of the day. What's the question of the day? Do you commend Governor Abbott for sticking it to Congress by shipping the migrants up to D.C.? Let me know in the chat and let me know in the comments if you're catching the replay. You know? Did y'all see how fast that story at Greenwood Park Mall just fucking disappeared? Y'all see how fast that shit disappeared? It's fucking Tuesday and that shit is gone. I think it happened Sunday. It's Tuesday. You ain't heard shit else about this Greenwood Mall shooting. That's because it don't fit their narrative. She said, fuck yes, get them out of our state. Yo, check it, right? The good guy with the gun defeats the bad guy with the gun narrative. You know, that shit was textbook. That shit was textbook. The good guy with a gun stops the bad guy with a gun. It just, you know, it kills their narrative. So you don't see, they done swept that story all the way under the rug. This kid who put this shooter down, he ain't gonna get no fanfare. He ain't gonna get no fucking interviews from, at least not from no left-leaning outlet. You know what I mean? All he gonna get is fucking vitriol and fucking slander. They already was like, well, he wasn't supposed to have his gun in the mall. And I'm like, well, neither was the fucking wannabe shooter. So what the fuck is you saying? And I guarantee those people in the mall was happy that kid had that fucking gun. They said he put him down from 30 yards out. That's a hell of a shot. Under pressure? That's a hell of a shot. A 30-yard shot ain't, with a handgun. You know what I mean? I don't care what nobody say. Take your ass to the fucking range and push that bitch out. I think most ranges probably go to 25 yards in a handgun range. Push that bitch out to 25 yards, 30 yards, and see if you can fucking push shots on center mass. You know what I mean? Give yourself like, I don't know, 2 to 3 seconds to get shots on target. You know what I mean? That shit hard. You know what I mean? I practice like at 25 yards. Like I'll shoot 7 to 10, and then I'll push that motherfucker out 25 yards. And then I'll put it in the police trainer mode, because the range I go to, they got a police trainer mode on the different range bays, and I'll do that shit. So what that do, right, is it turns the target sideways, and then it'll turn the target to face you, and you got, like, depending on what setting you got it on, you got between 3 and 5 seconds to get shots on target before the target turns away from you again. And it backs it out all the way down to 25 yards, and you got to make those shots. That's just tough. That goes to show that kid knows his gun, knew his gun, and trained regularly. You feel me? Good for that kid, yo. Good on that kid. But all they can argue about is the fact that he wasn't supposed to have the gun in the mall. Almost all gun over here in Baltimore, here in Maryland at least, every mall we got is a gun-free zone. You know what I mean? But what they don't tell you is most of the time that shit just a suggestion. Exactly, Jimmy. What up, Jimmy? Train how you carry. But that's just, that's the thing, right? Most of the time they don't tell you that there's no gun zone, depending on where it is. Like if it's at a mall or whatever, it can't be enforced. It really can't be enforced. It's almost like it's a suggestion. Then you got some places that actually can be enforced in. But for the most part, it's just a suggestion. Like, I don't go nowhere I can't be strapped. That's just what it is. I don't go nowhere that I can't be strapped up. That'd be the day I fucking don't carry my shit and some shit go down. You know what I mean? The media wanted, crisis and tragedy. That's right. I think he's affiliated with the USAF somehow, I believe. Huh? Is that true? But you talking about the USAF? You talking about the U.S. Air Force? No, they said the kid didn't have any military background. They said he had no military. Well, in the press conference, they said he ain't had no military background. Maybe they was wrong. Maybe he did. All I know, 30-yard shot. All the bullets hit the target. No bystanders were hit. Kid's a fucking hero. He deserves the key to the city. But he won't get that. Nobody gonna know his name. Most people probably don't know his name. They just know that he was taken out. The shooter was taken out. At first, they were just saying the shooter was included in the victims, not even suggesting that somebody else other than the police took him down. You know what I mean? Exactly, Anti-Call Me. 30 yards with a pistol, yo. Shit tough. You gotta, something like that, under pressure, you gotta know your gun. You gotta know your gun and your capabilities. Most cops only train, 7 to 10 yards. I think it's what they train, 7 to 10 yards. You know what I mean? But yeah, you gotta push that shit. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, he had great muscle memory. That's his name. Thanks, Jay. Elijah Dickin. Elijah Dickin is his name. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know if he got any social media. He's 22, so I'm assuming he got some fucking social media. You know what I mean? I'm assuming the kid got social media. Shit, if you can find him, give him a salute. You know what I mean? That kid did the Lord's work. You know, when evil rears its ugly head, you can't depend on anybody else to come to your rescue. You need to be able to defend yourself. Like, just think about that, right? Shorty, he could have ran. A 30-yard shot, he could have easily just turned and ran, got his chicken dipped, right? He could have just as easily got his girlfriend and hauled ass the fuck up out of there, but he didn't. He stood tall. And he got work done. He saved I don't know how many lives doing that, man. He saved I don't know how many lives standing tall and putting that shooter down. You know, unfortunately, 2 people died other than the shooter. You know, that's sad, but it could have been 20. It could have been 10 or 6 or whatever. You know. But like I said last night, he ain't Superman. He ain't Superman. Let's say, yep, Betty wasn't playing on the left discourse, exactly. Yet they will victimize the yeah, they will no, dang, you retracted it. Stuff say heroes don't exist no more. Nope, not according to the left. You know, look how fast Good Samaritan stopped trending. They got that shit out of there, bro. They got that shit out of there. Good Samaritan stopped trending quick. I mean, I'm like that's fucked up. You know? What's up? Another asshole back. That's what's up. But yeah, I mean, you know, just like how we taking the term Hotep and making it positive again. You know, we can make heroes again, but the media, you know, they took that Good Samaritan shit and tried to spin the shit out of that shit yesterday and the day before, or yesterday, you know. They didn't want to get his kid no credit. They turned Good Samaritan into vigilante, is what they did. They turned that shit into vigilante. That shit is crazy. Not victimized has a hero, not victim. It will make him look like the villain, yeah, not the hero. No, I got you. He's a hero. He's a hero and victim, but they will see him as a vigilante. Yeah, that's what they kept calling him, a vigilante. You know, they kept trying to slant it. Like this nigga out here, like Kick-Ass or some shit, or like Batman. Damn, I'm hungry. I should stop. Let me see. Where are we at? Can I get in here from here? Damn, it's all good. Keep it moving. You know. But yeah, it's crazy. So now there's anybody that takes action to save lives, are they gonna be considered a vigilante? Is that what you're gonna call them? A person who takes action and put others' lives before their own, sacrifices their life or puts their life on the line to save others and get others to safety, that's considered a vigilante. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And that's what the left wants you to believe. You know what I mean? The funny part is right, take the Uvalde shit. Everybody's up in arms, left and right, about how those police, except for Brandon Tatum, about how those police acted in that moment, right? What is it? Some people say 50 minutes, some people say 70 minutes, right? They're all up in arms about how the police acted in that moment, right? You gotta run to the danger. You gotta run to the danger, right? You gotta run to the danger. We get a mass shooter in a mall, and the civilian, remember, ran to the danger. The civilian ran to the danger. Just like those parents in Uvalde who ran up in that building to get their children. Right? Everybody praised the parents. Those parents were willing to do what the police weren't willing to do. Well, guess what? Elijah Dicken was willing to do what the police in Uvalde wasn't willing to do. And he ran into the fight and he won. And saved I don't know how many people in the process. I'm sure at the moment he wasn't thinking like, oh, let me get my mass shooter grift on. No, he probably saw what was going on. He drew his gun. He took action. He saved lives. I'm sure that shit just happened in the blink of an eye. You know what I mean? And he saved all these lives. On August 26th, what is it? Samaritan comes out. That equals 26 or 66 in sacrifice. Good catch, long time zone. Oh, they got the gematria shit jumping. You feel like Stallone sacrificed his son for fame? That's the one that I remember Yo. That was like, damn, he died like 10 years ago, right? His son, or longer. But yeah, because wasn't that was his son that was in like Rocky 4, wasn't it? I think that was his son that was in like Rocky 4, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Rocky 5. I think that was his son. His actual son. Okay, I got another 8 miles before I turn. Okay. Oof. By the time I get down here, grit this boat, and get back, I'm going to have to fill up again. I just filled up yesterday. Shit still ain't pretty. Oh, that was the son in Over the Top too? That was the same kid. Yo, Over the Top was my shit, yo. Yo, let me tell you about that, right? So, so check this right. Hold on. Let me see what this says. Time for 6 more miles. I challenge anyone to run without sleep and ride 25 miles, which should take me 30 to 60 minutes to complete. From now, we will rewind. If not, still live upon return. Still live upon return. That's not the same kid? Oh, shit. Fuck that. Over the Top was my shit, yo. So check, my father was actually in the competition. But the way that shit was in the movie, like when he was going to like the fucking shady bars and shit, arm wrestling, that's how that shit really was, or really was back in the day. I remember I went to an arm wrestling competition with my dad. I probably was like 7 or 8 years old. And that shit was in the sticks. It was at some shady bar. I think the prize was like $200 in a fucking Miller Lite fucking poster or some shit like that. I'm not lying. He had that shit for the longest time. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm about to pull over real quick. Let me see. Oh, no, let me see. One in the chat if y'all can still hear me. I lost my signal for a second. But, that shit crazy, yo. Like, that movie was spot on how like the arm wrestling scene is. You know what I mean? But that was one of my favorite movies. Like, I was watching with my son. And he was like, "I don't like this, Daddy. This is stupid." I'm like, "You don't know good movies, son. You don't know good cult classics. God damn it." You know. But yeah. Like I was saying, guys. And like I always say, make sure you got your food ready. Make sure you got, your protection. Make sure you can protect your family. You know what I mean? If you're in a state where you can get your CCW, get your fucking CCW. What the fuck are you waiting on? Get it. Get your state CCW, get Utah CCW, and if you got time, get Pennsylvania and DC CCW. That should carry you for a shit ton of states. Not to mention we got all these constitutional carry states where you wouldn't really need it in the first place. You know what I mean? Sage's name was Sage Moonblood Stallone. You see. You see how good Scott did. He did a grift on his comic book. Yeah, I seen that. I want to get it. I'm gonna donate some money to that. That shit look dope. I wouldn't mind reading that. Door kickers. That shit is fly. I'm definitely interested. You know what I mean? You know, I supported my man Ripper. Shit, that's fucking fly. Shit. Door kickers. Yeah, matter of fact, I need to find out what I think he said he's doing on Indiegogo. See if we can't get some more people behind that comic. That shit looks slick. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, get your state's CCW. If your state constitutional carry, fucking good for you. Go get Utah, get Pennsylvania, and get DC if you can. And that should carry you for a lot of states. Because I know Utah and DC and Maryland, I think between Utah, DC, and my Maryland, those are the 3 permits that I have. I'm good for 36 states. Yeah, DC's still issuing non-resident permits. As long as you got your state's permit, if I'm not mistaken. No, he didn't put a stop to that just yet. You can still go as long as you got your state's. As long as I gotta look back into that. And I'm pretty sure, no, because I know somebody that just did the shit. As long as you got your state's permit, you can get PA. So, you should be good on that. But I know between my DC, my Maryland, and my Utah, I'm good for 36 states. 36 states. You know what I mean? Like I said, get legal. Stay strapped. Practice. If you can't make it to the Rand Target Pro, look that shit up on Google or whatever, right? Yeah, Florida does have the most reciprocity, and Florida has an out-of-state permit. That's true. Most people that do the Utah permit also does the Florida permit too. So keep that in mind. But train, like get the iTarget system, get the Mantis system. You know, your accuracy is all in your trigger pull with a handgun. Keeping that gun steady and pulling that trigger. Or squeezing the trigger, I should say. Not pulling the trigger, squeezing the trigger. Right? I was a shit shot when I first started shooting. And I was scared to carry my gun. I'm like, yo, my shot it sucks. Right? Until I got that iTarget system. And that shit had me shooting groups the size of fucking nickels. So, you know, practice, you know what I mean? Dry firing, all that good shit works, man. I don't give a fuck if, you know, ammo expensive, go get a fucking airsoft gun and get some paper and put that shit on the wall and shoot at the fucking paper. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit works. Just make sure you train. Get yourself some protection. And I ain't talking about the donkeypox vaccine or vacation. They was in that line last. It was in that line. They was in that line like they was getting that AZT from the 90s. I was like, geez, y'all, these dudes is tripping. You know what I mean? Notice it was all dudes, by the way. But anyway, I digress on that one. But anyway, I'm about to pull up to my destination. I'm going to get this boat and get my ass back to Maryland. Don't forget tonight, me and Jay Paulon going to be live streaming. We'll be talking the topics of the day, the topics of the week. Between 8:30 and 9:30, Jay gonna put out, you know, he'll put out his feeler and his notification. You know what I mean, fruity pox. I was gonna call it monkey pot pies or monkberry moon delight. I know. I like that song too, Monkberry Moon Delight. That's a deep cut right there, y'all. That's a deep cut right there, Monkberry Moon Delight. Who can tell me who sings that song, Monkberry Moon Delight? Who made that? I know somebody in there knows it. Anyway, me and Jay gonna be live tonight at between 8:30 and 9:30 on Jay Pylon's channel. I'll retweet it and everything once Jay get the link all set up. Hotep Nation Weekend, August 11th through the 13th. Please get y'all tickets. Come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. The Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. HotepNation.com to get your tickets. Sissy Crunch Bar. Y'all nasty. Anyway, this Cannon Hotep saying stay safe, stay well, stay strapped. Don't catch that Monkberry Moon Delight.